Hey love, welcome back to the Dear Love channel. We're going to be diving back into my back to school series today, and we're going to be talking about how to manage your period during school, because it's one thing to have your period in the comfort of your own home. Yeah, it's another thing to be in school, in the school environment and public bathrooms, and dealing with school and studying and all that stuff. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to find really helpful is having a period kit ready and made in your backpack or your locker. In my last video, I showed how to put together a period kit, everything you need in there. So take a look at that. Let's talk about the whole bathroom situation at school. This can definitely be a bit of a thing. So how do you get your period products that you need to change into the bathroom? First of all, I just want to remind you that you do not need to be embarrassed about having a period and needing to change into period products. You don't need to be embarrassed of your period products, all of that. But with that being said, I was a teenage girl in middle school and high school, and I absolutely can understand wanting to be discreet with your period products and being on your period in general. Like, I totally get that. You don't want to draw attention to yourself, especially if you're in a school with like boys and girls. Like, if I'm a 13-year-old girl, I don't need an immature 13-year-old boy to know that I have my period. I get it. So if you want to be discreet, just know in your heart, being on your period is nothing to be embarrassed about, nothing to hide. But if you want to be discreet with your period products, that's a choice that you can make. So there's a couple of ways you can do this if you want to be discreet. You can just take your stuff out of your backpack, carry your whole period kit to the bathroom. You have the right to do that. You can just hold the pad you're going to change into in your hand and walk to the bathroom. If you want to be discreet, put like your pad or tampon that you're going to be changing into up your sleeve if you have a long sleeve, or you can put it in a pocket or in the waistband of your pants, and you can walk to the bathroom with it discreetly. That is like a trick of the trade. It also just depends on your school, right? Like in high school, I was at a school where we carried our backpacks with us from class to class. So I always could just take my whole backpack into the bathroom and just take my stuff out of my backpack, which honestly was nice because I didn't even have to think about this whole situation. But you can be discreet with it. You don't have to be. Those are just some ideas of how to deal with that piece of it, the whole like public bathroom situation. The other thing with the whole public bathroom situation is like changing your period products and like the sound of the wrappers and stuff being loud. I feel like especially in middle school when girls are first starting to get their periods, I guess like it's just can feel embarrassing, even though it's really nothing to be embarrassed about. So you can open your products slowly so that they're quieter, but I just recommend that you practice just getting comfortable with it. Like, especially in a girl's bathroom, these are people who are already experiencing the same thing or are going to be soon. So it's just, I just think that's one of those things that it's like, just open your period products and don't worry about it being loud, even if you are kind of cringing at it because you don't want people to know. I don't know, it's one of those difficult things because I know like the mentality of it is so different when you're younger, but I just want you to know, like, don't be embarrassed about it. But I know it's hard to say that when you're younger and you're just first experiencing it and you're just, yeah. And you'll see too, to throw out your period products, there's gonna be like a little like silver or plastic garbage can on the side of the stalls. And you can also add to your period kit wipes to keep yourself feeling fresh, or to like wipe your hands off if you're using a tampon. So you can just wipe your hands off in the stall and then go and wash your hands in the sink. So these are all things that you can consider. I just wanted to bring up the whole bathroom situation at school because I feel like it is a thing when it comes to having your period at school. Ultimately, just know too, like you will just get more comfortable with it to the point where you're not thinking about it at all when you're changing your pad in a public bathroom. Let me know in the comments how you feel about like the whole bathroom situation on your period at school. Like, are you discreet with it? Do you care? Let me know, I'm curious. Okay, let's move on now to what you do if you have cramps during school. Because again, you're not in the comfort of your own room with your heating pad and all those nice things that are so comforting when you have your period. So what do you do in the school situation? I was doing a little bit of research for this video just to see if there are some different products that are good for like on-the-go period pain, and I did find 2 products from the brand Rael. I never know how to say this brand, R-A-E-L. Now, I honestly have not tried these products before. I just came across them and they looked really really good. One of them is like a pain relieving patch that you put over your lower abdomen, like over your uterus. And then the other one is like a roll-on gel that you would put in the same area, like over your uterus, on your skin. I thought that those looked like two really good options to consider, so I just wanted to mention them even though I haven't tried them yet. You could also bring a thermos of raspberry leaf tea. Raspberry leaf tea helps with period cramps, and it's also just nice to have something warm and comforting to bring with you through the day. And of course, ibuprofen is something that I suggest you keep in your period kit as well, or you keep like in the school office or at the nurse's office, depending on how your school handles those things with medication. I always like to preface this by saying that you should use ibuprofen sparingly, and it's not great to use month after month after month because it's just really not good for our bodies. And there are a lot of underlying causes of period pain that can be healed so that you're not at the point where you need to take medication for your period pain. Like, it doesn't reach that level of pain. But with that being said, it is very useful and can definitely bring a lot of relief. So keep some of that on hand as well. And when it comes to other symptoms like bloating and mood swings, I highly recommend that you stay hydrated. So bring a water bottle with you through the day, wear comfortable clothes. If you need a little bit of inspiration, I actually made a whole video of all my favorite period day outfits. So I'll link that in the description box down below. And then you're also going to want to make sure that you're eating a balanced breakfast and lunch of protein and healthy fats and complex carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables. This is going to help you keep your energy and your mood steady, which is important all the time, but especially when you have your period, when those things are already like vulnerable to being a little bit more up and down. So definitely be sure you're eating good meals and keeping yourself full. Okay, let's move on now to how you manage the demands of school and homework and social life when you have your period. So I think it's really important to recognize that when you have your period, your body is in a natural time of rest and replenishment, which is the opposite of what school life demands of you. Your body likely wants to slow down and take a break, but school life puts these demands on you to be ready to focus and accomplish and achieve. So it's like your body is asking you of something and school is demanding you of something. And of course, school matters, but your health and your well-being matter way more than school ever will. So it's extra important on your period days to take care of yourself a little or maybe a lot extra. Okay, so what does this realistically look like? It could look like getting home from school and getting comfy with your heating pad, maybe some tea, and taking a little rest, maybe take a little nap before you push onward to do your homework or go to your sport or other activities. Or with that being said, maybe it looks like taking a couple of days off of those sports and extracurricular activities and just letting yourself have more time for yourself to do those more restful activities that you're not getting to do during the school day. Or it could look like taking time in the morning before school for yourself and doing a stretch for your body to help with cramps and to clear your mind, or to make yourself a really protein-filled breakfast. It could look like a lot of different things, but it's basically just like carving out the time to take care of yourself. And you can think of that in the sense of like food, rest, and self-care type stuff. Journaling, stretching, yoga, Epsom salt baths, tea, all types of stuff like that. It's carving out the time to do those things that are comforting and centering to you when you have your period. And that's going to vary obviously from person to person. And I know saying this can kind of sound a bit controversial, at least with the stuff of like taking time off school if you can, or taking time off of sports or extracurricular activities when you have your period. And I'm not saying at all that like you're not capable of doing those things when you have your period, or you shouldn't be doing those things. I just want to encourage you to see the big job that your body is doing. And if those things don't feel good to you when you have your period, taking a break from them in whatever way you can realistically is not something bad. Like, rest is a very powerful thing, especially for women. We need more rest than men, and it's really important to recognize as a girl going through school, having your period month after month, that the way that the school system is set up has no regard for our periods. It's not like worked into the structure of school. Like, the school load doesn't adjust for a girl when she has her period. The expectations aren't shifted. The way you're taught isn't shifted with like where you're at in your body. It doesn't have anything to do with your period. There's no regard for it. There's really no talk about it except learning about it a little bit in your health class. So then when you have your period, you're working within a system that isn't really supportive of that state that you, your mind, your body are in when you have your period. That doesn't mean that people or teachers or nurses or whatever aren't going to be kind to you and all that stuff, but like the foundational structures of the school system aren't taking into account the way that a girl's body shifts through the month. And that to me is so unfortunate because I know how significant of an impact our whole menstrual cycles have on us and our energy and our focus and our outlook and just everything. It has such a huge impact on us. I could go on a whole rant about this, but ultimately what I'm saying is that just because the systems that we're in don't acknowledge our needs doesn't mean that we can't acknowledge those needs for ourselves and for each other. So advocate for yourself and carve out that time to take care of yourself and give yourself permission to give yourself that extra care and love and give yourself the validation and recognition of the significance of your period. Your period is not something to push away and hide, which is what we feel in these systems, like the school system that has no regard for our periods. We feel like, oh, well, there's no place for this here, so I have to pretend that I'm not experiencing this right now. I have to pretend that I'm not in pain. I have to pretend that I'm not going to the bathroom right now to change my pad. I have to try and be focused right now in this math class when I'm actually like really tired and could use some time to myself. You don't have to believe that your period means nothing, because it means so much. It's such a beautiful, natural rhythm of our female bodies, and it deserves that recognition. And you deserve that extra love and care and attention during your period. So, through the school year, I want you to advocate for your needs and take care of yourself. And I hope that through this channel, you can find some different ways to do that and to feel empowered to do so, and to see yourself and your period and your menstrual cycle and your whole female workings as something that's beautiful and powerful and has great significance and meaning for our lives as women. And finally, my last tip in this video is to cycle track. I highly, highly recommend that you track your menstrual cycle. It's such an important practice and it's so useful. Tracking your cycle is so helpful because it gives you an idea of when your period is going to come each month. So you kind of have a heads up and you know when to expect it. And there's actually 4 different phases of your menstrual cycle. Your period is just one phase of your menstrual cycle, but there's a lot happening between the time that you get your period and you get it again. Like, there's a lot of time in between and stuff is happening in your body throughout that whole time. It puts you through different hormonal states, gives you different energy levels, so much. I have several videos explaining the different cycle phases and how to cycle track. You can track your cycle super easily just using an app. There are several free apps. I really like the app Clue. It's super just like straightforward, easy to use. There's a fun one that brings some astrology into it that is called Stardust. You can also just use a calendar, or you can do a full menstrual cycle awareness journaling practice, which is the type of cycle tracking that I love to do and I think is such a beautiful type of cycle tracking. I have a whole video showing how to do that and how to do the other ways of cycle tracking. So I'm gonna link that into the description box. So check those videos out for some help with how to get into cycle tracking. So I hope that you found this helpful and insightful and hopefully empowering too, because I just want you guys to know how significant your period is. And you, like, as a female, as a woman, you got so much inside of you that's so powerful and significant. And I am tired of these systems in our world trying to like make us think that it means nothing and we just have to hide it because, you know, we're just getting these signs that, you know, it has no place or recognition, so we shouldn't give it a place or recognition in our lives. That is so not true. So I hope that this empowers you to see that it means so much. And subscribe to the Dear Love channel to learn more about what's so significant about your period and your menstrual cycle and you as a female human being on this earth. Like this video if you found it helpful, and let me know, what is your experience of your period at school? Or if you haven't gotten your period yet, are there things that you're nervous about? Or if you're past both of these stages and maybe you're a mom with daughters, how are you feeling about your daughters in school with their period? Or what was your experience? I'm so grateful that you guys are here, and it's so fun to see the growth that this channel has had recently. And I just pray that it just continues to grow and impact girls and women for the better. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, loves.